Hello, my name is Cold Bear, and this is a quick list about a game somewhat similar to Fallout 4. Most of them are 3D single-player post-apocalyptic games. Also in this list you won't find any games with zombies. Let's start with Stalker series.
Stalker, huh?
Yes, and while Stalker 2 is still in the works, let us first talk about what we already have. Stalker franchise, if I can call it like that, has 3 episodes: Shadow of Chernobyl, Clear Sky, and it seems that I forgot the last one. Hello, who is this?
This is Pripyat calling.
Oh, there you go. Call of Pripyat is the third one, released in the year of 2009. Anyway, Stalker consists of 3 different games, but basically because they are all made using the same X-ray engine, which is only slightly improved with every episode, it's hard to tell which game came first to an untrained eye. Here, after the second disaster of Chernobyl nuclear plant, all kinds of Schnarble glorbs are released in the world, and you, being a Stalker, collect various artifacts in that contaminated zone and sell them. Here you are like one of my neighbors, a guy who doesn't speak Lithuanian named Krzysztof, who is patrolling every trash container, aka contaminated zone, in my block in search of goodies. He does that for years now, and once I saw him pulling out a laptop out of the trash container, and I was like, geez, he probably earns more than I do. I should start searching for things myself. I never did, but I hope Krzysztof finds even more artifacts, lives long and prospers. So in Stalker you will search for things, and in your ventures you will encounter some creepy-ass monsters. Some of them are very scary, especially some invisible abominations in the sewers, and yeah, Stalker is a horror game. You'll have to have tough balls to play it alone, but it is an amazing experience and I'm definitely recommending it. And Stalker 2 is scheduled for release in 2021 for next-generation Xbox consoles and Windows, probably later or much later on PS5 as well. As developers say, it will be one of the biggest open-world games to date, but every developer of open-world games says that, so until I actually play it, I won't take those statements very seriously. Stalker 2 will have branching story and multiple endings, where your actions will influence both short-term consequences and global outcomes. In-game you will encounter various anomalies, artifacts and creepy mutants, many of which are never seen before, and some will be well known for fans of the series. I have no doubt that creepy invisible bastard from the tunnels will be implemented in the game and will put your balls to the test again. The game's plot will be unraveled inside the Chernobyl's exclusion zone, with new locations added along with several old ones. The Outer Worlds. Because the setting is similar and because it's made by the same developer, the ultimate question is, does this game feels and plays like Fallout New Vegas? And my answer is yes, it really feels like Fallout in an outer space setting. Of course, there are a lot of differences and other nuances, but the general feel is really Falloutish. For example, if this game was called Fallout The Outer Worlds, it could be a legit sequel, or more like a spin-off of Fallout games. Nobody would complain. Well, that is a strong statement. There are always people who complain, people who don't like things in general, just for the sake of not liking.
I don't like sand.
Yeah, like that. And speaking about developers of this game, Obsidian Entertainment, then I have this insight. When they made Fallout New Vegas for Bethesda, they kinda learned how to make quality open world games, and now they are one of the strongest rivals of Bethesda itself. Recently, Obsidian announced their new title named Avowed, which is no doubt inspired by the Elder Scrolls. And while Bethesda all this time is busy not making a new Elder Scrolls game, Obsidian felt a void in this plane of oblivion and decided to fill it in. I hope they will succeed. I love open world games similar to Fallout and Skyrim very much, and I have a feeling that you do too. Metro series. There are 3 games in the series, and in every single one of them you play as Artyom, a survivor of nuclear war who is living in the metro tunnels of post-apocalyptic Moscow. You are not alone who lives in there. Various monsters are sharing the place with you. Not as scary as your mother-in-law, but they hate you and they want you dead, so you have to defend yourself by shooting them and shooting and shooting. Yes, this is a first-person shooter, so shooting is what you do. Here you will find almost zero RPG elements, so if you play Fallout for role-playing, then probably these games will not spike your interest, but it doesn't hurt to try, right? Especially if you liked scary metro tunnels of Fallout 3 or 4, full of bloodthirsty ghouls, and if it took you some balls to explore those areas, then in here you will have to have balls at least twice as big, or you know, more of them, like 3 instead of 2. Metro games are quite scary, believe me. Last game, Metro Exodus, which was released in 2019, finally got you out of the tunnels into a post-apocalyptic wasteland of the former Russian Federation. Because Metro is a first-person shooter, it tends to limit your free will by saying where to go and what to do at any given moment, so if you're looking for open world, it's also not exactly there. But the post-apocalyptic setting is great, and shooting is great, and if you loved Fallout for that, Metro will bring you lots of vodka. Joy. Lots of joy. Those words are so similar to me, jeez. Mad Max. Here you are, Mad Max, the lone warrior in a savage, post-apocalyptic world where cars are the key to survival. In this action-packed open-world, third-person action game, you must fight against vicious gangs of bandits to stay alive in the wasteland. You want nothing more than to leave the madness behind and to find solace in the mythical plains of silence. You are challenged with treacherous missions as you scavenge for dangerous landscape for supplies to build the ultimate combat vehicle of your dreams. Game is really good and probably one of the best examples of how to create a game based on a movie plot. Also, if you get it on a sale, it may cost you only €5 on Steam, basically twice cheaper than one beer in Stockholm's old town. Elex. This is a handcrafted action role-playing game from the creators of Gothic series, set in a brand new post-apocalyptic science fantasy universe that puts you into a huge, seamless game world full of original characters, mutated creatures, and deep moral choices. Here you will find a truly open world without borders or loading zones. Also, here you can use jetpack to explore any place above the ground, making the setting truly 3D. I should mention that the game is really hard at the beginning, not as hard as Diamond, Jason Statham or Tardigrade, but hard enough to beat you instead of being beaten. So don't panic when you die fighting some mutated fluffy rabbit. Later, if you manage to live long enough, you will love it. Not rabbit, the game. The world exploration part is awesome, it will bring you lots of fun. Sadly, AI is kinda weak. Some monsters ignore you, some will act strange, and some will be easily tricked by your wisdom. Well, and that kills mood a bit. But in general, Elex is a great game for Fallout fans. So, the big 5 is done, but if you think that this is it, you have probably never seen any of my top videos before. Now it's the time for honorable mentions, and I have a lots of them. Horizon Zero Dawn. Finally, you can play it on PC. Great post-apocalyptic game filled with original creatures and interesting story. I have sunk many hours in it on my PlayStation 4, and I am very happy with this purchase. If Witcher 3 and Fallout had a baby, it could probably look like Horizon Zero Dawn. Although, as I used to mention, sadly this game will not show you any boobs, so keep your pants on. Rage series. The first Rage game is very Falloutish and more loved by players than Rage 2. Like your brother is way more loved than you and your family. Game is an interesting look into life after the end of everything. And that end came along with an asteroid. Not a very ingenious plot, but I guess still better love story than zombie apocalypse. Far Cry New Dawn. A very colorful post-apocalypse, a true gem for flowers and airy-fairy unicorn lovers. Also, there is a lot of blood and carnage. Really great game. Borderlands 3. Many Fallout 3 or 4 fans are disgusted by the graphics of Borderlands franchise and will rather watch the paint dry than play one of those games, but this looter shooter has a lot of charm, and if you never played any of Borderlands before, third part may be the gem you are looking for. You know, I'll be honest, I'm one of those who rather will watch paint dry, but I'm working on it, so maybe someday, maybe when Borderlands 4 will come out, maybe, yeah, probably not. I am alive. As a lone survivor in a believable, dark and insecure post-apocalyptic world, a man struggles for survival in a desolate city as he tries to reunite with his long-lost wife and daughter. Very serious game, might be too serious for you, but the post-apocalypse is there and some cool stories as well. And now I would kindly ask you to like this video and subscribe to my channel, or I will delete Latvia. Everyone loves Latvia, so this is a serious threat. Please subscribe. Let Latvia be in the same place so everyone could go there every weekend and get drunk. Cause if you never got drunk in Latvia, have you even lived at all? Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.